Yeah. Hello, and welcome, or should I say ho, Christmas cousins. I'm Cousin Chad.
And I'm Cousin Seth, and we're stripping down. Everybody's loosening their ties.
Fired up episode. This is the wrap-up show we are recording right after our momentous... I can hardly even speak. We just had the trial of Cousin Seth, the trial of the century. We're doing a quick wrap-up. All of our minds are blown. For those of you who are new to the show, I'm Cousin Chad. I love the holidays. I've taken my Cousin Seth on a journey. We're going through the holidays and learning it all. But now we're here to talk about the trial. If you're new to the show, go back to episode 1. We'll see you in 204 episodes. Gentlemen, wow, where do we even start?
I would say I start with kudos to Joe for coming like a very unique take, going after Chad as well. That caught me off guard. And then I'm like, wow, do we just throw Chad under the bus?
Of course.
That's an interesting legal strategy of shooting yourself in the foot or showing all your cards.
There was a moment when that happened when everyone just kind of looked at Chad and was like, oh, here we go.
Yes. That was an interesting tack. So what Joe did, you're obviously, if you haven't listened yet, go back and listen to the trial episode where we decide if Cousin Seth is going to remain a seasonal sophomore, be promoted to a jolly junior, or be demoted to a festive freshman. Let's go first we'll go to you in a second, Seth. I see you smiling. You cannot wait with this victory. Let's go first to Lee. We're going to go to Lee, an impartial observer. Lee, what are your thoughts about what transpired? My mind is blown. I need help here. This is just a quick
I think it's a result we were all hoping for. I kind of felt for Seth a couple times. He was talking and we were talking there. I felt there were these moments of almost genuine concern on his end that there were these real repercussions. Because we'd ask a question and, you'd kind of pause and you would kind of gather your wits and then march forward through the cross-examination. And, I thought it was great. It was a good time, a great idea. And, I'm glad Seth's with us for another 411 seasons.
That's right. Lee, you're right. It only works if Seth really takes it seriously. And he did. He acted like there were actual repercussions, which we don't know if there were or not. So now let's go to the prosecutor. Joe, fantastic showing in court today. You really brought it. Not the result you wanted, but I think you had your point made. Possibly attacking the beloved Cousin Chad was a bit of a stumble, but still it was a tactic. Let's hear your thoughts here.
I don't think it was a stumble. I think the judge
clearly with the verdict it was, but go on.
No, I think the judge got it wrong. I think the judge.
Now he's attacking the judge.
I think he was looking at that. I was expecting his Cousin Seth to have the same Christmases that I have, and that's not exact. That is not what I ever talked about. I pointed out the fact that not only did he regress in his second year, but that his cousin failed him, and so while Seth had no way to say, I am a seasonal sophomore.
Right.
He just illegally takes that promotion from his cousin Chad, who was just a little too lazy.
Wow. Still litigating. Do
a quiz
still
episode. Litigating. And because he would rather go surfing. How many times? And I'm in my lawyer mode still. How many times, Cousin Seth, have we said, "Oh, we were going to record. Oh no, you know what? I got to go surfing."
Yes, I love that. Those are my favorite days.
Correct?
Yeah, but I know it's there, so I kind of went into this knowing that exists. So
yes, Cousin Seth.
I really think we need a second trial of the century. And
we do.
Chad,
because truthfully, the truth is that it's not Seth's fault; it's Chad's.
Wow, this is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
How quickly they turned. The Christmas aficionado, as he's now called, has been very negative. This is also his last appearance ever on the show, which has been great. It's been a great run. I really want to thank you for your efforts. No, I appreciate that, and I maybe you're right in that. Listen, Cousin Seth will vouch for me. There have been many things in life I missed out on because I've gone surfing. That's what happens. It's an addiction. It's not good.
I just think we need to work down the family tree until we find a guilty party.
Exactly, Cousin Howard.
Don't you see that this is still a reflection of the bloodthirst? We're going to toss them Chad. They're hungry. They want somebody. So instead of giving them Seth, we're giving up Chad.
Well, Bob, let's talk about that. That was an interesting take that you had as well. You went almost a historical context saying this is not It's almost like what the OJ defense team did.
Yeah.
They said this isn't just about OJ, it's about righting wrongs of this systemic issue. Joe is tossing the Cousin Chad sticker in the garbage, or possibly that's where he keeps his favorite stickers. I don't know. But what you were saying, Bob, was this is a time for us to make a stand and take away where we like to build up our heroes and knock them down. And Seth is all of our collective hero. I think we can agree on that. That was your take, Bob? It's interesting.
Right. I mean, it was like, how could we put him in this spot, and we loved his innocence, his charm.
We do.
His, gagging on the eggnog, all of it.
Yes.
How can we then come at him and tear it all away from him?
Wow.
We couldn't.
I would argue, though, that his cousin is the one who's doing that.
Interesting. His cousin's also the one who presented him with the opportunity, right, Seth? I mean,
Yeah,
I did present it. Yeah.
I will quote Cousin Chad when we talked about doing this trial. Regardless of the outcome, I'm going to love it.
Yes, that's true. That's true. It was a win-win for me.
Yeah, it was a win-win for Chad regardless, because Chad can now say, oh, I'm starting over, or I have successfully graduated Seth to the next level.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seth, did you say that's a pattern? I always make it so it's a win-win for the Chadster. Is that what you would say?
Absolutely.
Here's my take.
We'd
I
expect
think
nothing less, Chad.
Thank you.
Nothing.
Thank you.
I think we actually have some like Munchausen syndrome here, where Seth has always been an excellent Christmas fan, and Chad thrusted upon him that there were things wrong with him, and he's trying to fix something, and there's no real problem. In fact, when Seth was prowling the neighborhood, he sent me some pictures of an old lady's backyard and all of her Christmas decorations and a toy skeleton in a bag.
Yes.
Can I also say,
You never know where you're going to find it.
Lee, you've hit a nerve here. I think, again, it's Chad. Chad's on trial.
I
He's
think
the
so.
one, like,
You're
yeah,
right.
he condemned Seth to saying, yes, you're defective. There's something wrong with you that we need to fix, right? You're right.
Seth, blink twice if you need help.
Only
say-
out through.
I would ask.
but this
I would ask Cousin Seth. Let's find out. Do you think we should put Chad on trial?
that's a lot of work, Seth.
I don't know. Because I mean, all this is coming. Yeah, right. Yeah. Is he going to put it all
Yeah,
together?
no.
You got to put together your own trial, Chad.
I
All good
don't-
dictators do that. Go on,
Right,
Seth.
right. He went into it with the best of intentions and still managed to conduct himself that way. I don't think he's ever put me in harm's way or anything like that, or set up a situation to see me fail.
Eggnog, Cadbury eggs.
Yeah, that is a little self-serving, right?
One might argue Seth has put me into more dangerous situations growing up than I have him. That's a whole
Shifting
nother
the blame.
podcast. though.
Yeah, that could be true too.
tricking you into figuring out your favorite destinations. I mean,
Right.
all of these things are
Interesting.
just for his amusement.
Right.
And,
I say-
secretly working behind your back on a episode where you will be embarrassed if you don't know who like Tyler Hines is. I mean, these are things that he did.
Interesting.
Are we
had
all
to
Chad's
prove-
pawns?
You know what? And now I'm
What was
thinking,
the name of the pickup girl? Let's put her on trial.
40.
Let's put her on trial.
well, Lee, you brought up Munchausen syndrome. I would say Seth might have Stockholm syndrome, where now he's identifying with me, his kidnapper, his captor. He's now on my side. It could be. I don't
Not
know.
even cousins. They didn't even grow up together. These stories are all fabricated
Right.
in Seth's head.
That's right. Seth, just a guy I found on the street, and I'm like, you look like you could need some
He's locked
Christmas.
him up in his basement, and like he.
Like that is one
around.
sad sack right there. Get over here, fella.
South Haven's the hospital that he found Seth at.
Yeah, exactly.
It does make sense because you never have an answer where our grandmother is, Seth. Every time I ask, where is Bubby? Where? Can you tell me now?
She said she was going to call you. I have
When?
no. Soon. Very soon.
Okay, good.
What year was that?
Yeah, what year, Seth? You have a sick, that's a morbid sense of humor, Seth. That's our grandmother. So here's the thing. This was really crazy. Seth, well, Bob, let's go to you. Bob, you won here. You were dressed beautifully. That was a smart move, dressing for Christmas. Our Judge Bran, by the way, everybody, let's hear for Judge Bran. That was really, he did great. Took a full hour with our nonsense. I mean, serious trial here, which was great. Bob, how are you feeling with the victory? And Joe came at you. I have to say, my favorite part of the trial was when you cast aspersions on Joe and said he commercialized Christmas. That was brilliant tactician. That was great.
My job was easy. Look at my client. It was, I just put him on the stand and let him talk, and everybody just melted. It was great.
It happens. It's that charm, Seth. That charm never loses. Holy cow!
Oh, yeah.
What was really funny was when the people in the courtroom were responding in the same way as your studio audience, clapping the same way, doing all the same things. It was fascinating.
Good point, Bob. Do you think Seth stacked the audience, flew them in for the trial? You never know with Seth. Yeah. Fascinating. Seth, let's go to you because we're going to wrap up the wrap-up here. Okay. You, Seth, another victory among strings of victory. I've never seen a guy on a hot streak like this. You are becoming quickly the Michael Jordan of Christmas. Cousin Seth.
Wow, it's a tall order.
It is a tall order. He's about 6'4", I think. Something. He's about your height, not too much. How tall is Michael Jordan? 6'4", 6'6"?
I don't know.
And Seth's what? What are you, Seth?
6'2".
Okay. Interesting. Lee's the tallest here at 6'4", weighing in. But I'm digressing, and I'm not going to do that now. Seth, how are you feeling? Biggest victory since your Rah-Rah Reading Award. We know of your intellectual exploits growing up, how great you were. You tell us all the time how great you are. Seth, how are you feeling now? And are you going to brag to Mrs. X? Are you going to meet Cousin Bob at Lazy Dogs for beer and celebrate once and for all? Tell us, Seth, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob, I want to take you out. This week is a little wonky.
Demote him. Get Bran back on.
I'm going to be out of town on Thursday and Friday, or Wednesday,
Where?
Thursday and Friday.
South Haven?
Where?
Yeah,
South
Haven.
Yeah.
Bob will meet at South Haven, won't you, Bob?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll charge my electric vehicle there. I'll get a
coffee,
the cafe. Yeah.
A nice brew and a gelato.
Seth, are you still going to Paris?
We are. Yeah.
Okay. In 2 weeks?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got a little freaked out. I was just like, I don't know. But yeah, we're still going.
Good. Okay. So, Seth, how are you feeling? And really, if you don't meet up with Bob, we are reopening this trial. The new evidence.
No, I
want
to. I owe Bob all of this.
Your life.
Which is
Lee was ready to decapitate you.
Yeah, I know.
You can see it in his eyes.
I'm going to go to Chicago, and Seth is going to bail, and he's going to be like, I can't find my shoe. And I'm just going to be sitting there at a bar by myself, but I'll call Bob.
Bob will meet you. Are you going, Lee? That was the plan. You were going to go to Chicago, right?
Yeah, we're going to get out there this summer.
Oh, this summer.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Come to Chicago, as Crosby, Stills, and Nash once saying. Seth,
yes,
you're feeling great. Do you feel worthy of being a Jolly Junior?
I do. I know there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of work involved. The work side mostly on you. But yeah, no, I feel good. I feel good because I have been, I say, taking this seriously. The kind of the few stumbles, I can attribute them to whatever you want, but
Okay.
good luck figuring out what actually happened. But I'm looking forward to it, and I don't know what next season or what the future Christmases will hold, but I definitely want to be a part of them. And my hope is that at some point be able to host a Christmas at my house for everyone.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
We're all invited. I do love what Lee said, the last one, that he pointed out that Seth's favorite part was something like things and stuff or something.
Yes.
I thought that was a great line. Very good. That should be a sticker, Lee.
Stuff like that.
Before we wrap,
I've done the research of the things and stuff like that.
and stuff like that. I do have a question for Joe as we wrap it up. Joe, I think what's fair, because if we're all accepting Judge Brand's decision that Cousin Seth is now a Jolly Junior, I think it's fair if you come to him and say, okay, you are, but when you're a junior, you still have things to do. So maybe you come to him and say, now you're a junior, we have a higher standard for you. Here's what needs to happen this coming season or these episodes. And I think Bob will agree there's a good way to mediate this, and Lee, you'll agree too, that Seth has to hold himself now to a higher standard. If he says he's going to review a movie, he's got to. If he says he's going to Duke's for a beer, he's got to do it. If he says he's going to whatever, if he's going to climb down a chimney, get your butt down that chimney, Seth. Gentlemen, do we agree that he has to be held to a higher standard to
Well,
keep
and
his
usually,
status?
isn't it junior year? You take like PSAT and ACT, and
Yes.
so there's a test usually in junior year. So
I'm working on
I
it.
come up with that test. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The wind just switched offshore. The waves are good. No test, Seth. I'm sorry, but actually, the waves are not good.
I think you're correct. I mean, if we accept the judge's ruling, which I might file an appeal, but we'll see.
Okay.
But if we do accept that he is a Jolly Junior, and right now I will concede that's what the judge's ruling was, because it was a trial. Whether it was fair or not, we'll see.
Right.
I think it sounds like there was some money transferred to
Wow.
the judge, which you admitted during the trial. So
To your client. Your client was the one who was getting the payoffs.
So I'm not quite sure how legal that was, but if he is a Jolly Junior, then yes, Seth is now hold to a higher level. I expect him to eventually watch Home Alone 2. I think that is definitely a given. I expect at least 10 Hallmark movies, Christmas movies this year. At least 10,
At
if
least
not
a dozen,
20.
at least. Right.
Yes, and I fully expect Chad to hold him to these, because if he doesn't, it's not going to look good, because we'll have to have a trial for Chad, and then what's the punishment? I think that's something we have.
But
to
you
determine.
are right about having like certain standards at each, what you should go through at each level, right? So
Yes.
by junior year, you should have at least watched Home Alone 2 and watched, so many Hallmark movies.
Yeah, he should be in AP classes too. He's very bright. So AP Christmas coming up this year. Gentlemen, this was fantastic. Too much fun for people in the middle of a work day. What work day? I mean, this is late in the day. Everyone's doing what they're supposed to. Here's the thing. Thank you guys very much, everybody. Again, check out Bob if you haven't yet. Festive foreign film fans. Check out Cousin Lee. He's got 87 businesses. You'll find one. You probably deal with one already. Check out the Christmas Aficionado on his highly monetized YouTube channel. That's right, everybody. Check out Cousin Seth, maybe at Lazy Dogs, maybe in Paris. You never know. Most likely be sitting there staring at the wall in his house waiting for something, for The Simpsons to come on. That's it, everybody. You can check us out, christmascousinspod@gmail.com or at Christmas Cousins Pod on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, India. Tongue and ending out. Thank you, Hera. Thank you.
I think Seth thinks that Paris is right down the street from Lazy Dog.
That's true.
And
We
Chad
need a
just
civil
got
trial.
And Chad just got a whole nother episode that he doesn't have to do anything else this week and can go surfing.
Exactly. That's always the goal. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.